How you doing, guys? My name is Thunder, and welcome to another episode of the Need for Speed Most Wanted Car Build. And in today's episode, requested by Feraligator for the win, we have an Alfa Romeo 4C, which is the second car in a row for the car mod series to replace the Lotus Elise. So I think that's actually the first time during the series we've got another car that replaces a car that replaced a car. You get the idea. But anyways, we already put all the parts on it. And I can't really show anything for customization visually apart from wheels, because that's all you can do with that. It's kind of unfortunate. Nothing else really works. And then visual-wise, again, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, I can paint it, but it's also kind of this interesting thing where the paints kind of are, in a lot of ways, are kind of custom, or at least they kind of give you that impression because it kind of has this like really weird effect where it's not really working. It's not really proper. It's just kind of like this weird. They don't seem to work very well. You can paint them though, so we'll just go for this really dark red because it looks nice with the car. And do window tints work? Of course. Actually, no. This is the first car that can't even use window tints. This car's a bit of a bust when it comes to designing it. All you can really do is paint. But there we go, so I guess the paint is all we're going to have to do with this car. But can we go fast around the track and at least make up for that? Well, let's go do that. So, we're taking the Alfa Romeo 4C to the Petersburg test track where it's going to have 6 laps to go around the track and do as fast of a lap time as it possibly can. At 50.17 seconds, the current leader is the Peugeot 406 Taxi, which is basically so OP it kind of broke the leaderboard. And after doing some practice runs with this thing, this thing won't get close to that, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with this car. Oh, apparently I discoed for a while. How about that?
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. But anyways, it won't matter in the actual video, so.
Editing.
Okay.
Yeah, regardless. The one issue I had with this car when actually driving it in practice is this car only has, you can see there, about 179 miles an hour, top end. That's it.
That's great.
It has it has all the parts on it, all Ultimate, all Junkman, all that.
He's lying.
Am I now?
Yes.
Okay.
You did the same.
I did the same. Okay, I did the same. I'm going to safely say that I think my internet is having a bit of a malfunction, because I was going to have some other people with me, but it doesn't seem to be working very well right now, which is incredibly infuriating. But I guess it doesn't really matter too much because, well, this is kind of one of those quick videos things that, you know, I record it and I get it out, so it's not exactly a big deal to me nonetheless. Yeah, my internet's, I think, having a malfunction, which is not fun. But yeah, it's the fact that this thing can only do about 179 means it really suffers in terms of long run speed, but looking away for a bit made me crash into that. Hooray! But in terms of long run speed, this thing can only do about, with the 179, it really loses time, because though the handling is fantastic on it, I think literally to the point where it's actually oversteering a bit, so fantastic, but be cautious. Its low top end means it won't really be able to benefit of a really fast time, so we're going to be looking at a car that's probably at best will be mid-table. At least that's what I got through practice, so we got because of the car's top speed, it's a mid-table time I'm guaranteeing here. And honestly, the fact that you can't really do a lot with this car, as well as the paint's not being a bit proper, kind of really lets this car down, to be honest. Like, there's just so little you can do with it, and the fact that I guess the modder was trying to go for more realistic top speed kind of puts it even further down, so I'm just disappointed. I was really hoping for a little bit more out of this car, but sadly that's not to be the case with this thing. There's just not much I can do. Plus the fact that likes to try to slide a bit, it makes it a little bit difficult at times to try to make sure it does not slide. Because, of course, no one wants your car to be sliding unless you like the idea of drifting a car around turners, which I do like doing, but in terms of this kind of series, that's not drifting is a bad option, so we're not going to be purposely trying to do that here. I'm not one of those people. I will only drift if it so warrants it, and right now it does not warrant it. Yep, and there's that going on. It just, and my internet is just basically having a complete meltdown right now, I think, so that's not good. But regardless, what time can we at least warrant? Okay, that's a 57.36. It's not as good as the previous lap, and I thought I was doing better that lap too. I guess not. I wanted to try to keep to the right as much as possible to try to at least keep the speed up, since this car kind of, well, I don't think I have to explain it any more so. Yeah, I imagine Feraligator's probably going to be a bit disappointed by this, because I would imagine he kind of would have wanted a little bit more out of this thing, but you know, the fact that this is not how I did not mod this car, so it's no sabotage or nothing, it's just how it is. But anyways, let's just see if we can at least manage a sub 57 second time. That will at least be nice to see. This lap has been a very good shot at it, so let's see here. Oh, there we go. Exactly sub 57. That's 56.95, so just quite literally into there. And there we go, a little bit of that. So yeah, it's just, once you get the car down, it's a quite nice car to drive at least, so it does benefit that. It's just the fact that it has such a low top end. It really doesn't help the car out any. So, but regardless, we're just gonna get this car home to the finish and see exactly what kind of time we will get from this. I think that should be pretty cool if we can get it around that 56.66 time that the Colin McRae Motorsports Ford Escort did, because then it would be a pretty interesting like dual race thing that you could do with those two cars, or at least something like that. And okay, there we go. A 56.91 is the best time that I managed out of this, so it's not a pretty bad time at all. I mean, if it weren't for the top speed being lowered, it would probably definitely get a pretty damn good time. So that means the 56.91 time puts the car into 19th place, putting it literally 1/100th of a second above the Lamborghini Gallardo, and also beating out cars like the Mazda RX-7, but it's just shy on the Ford Colin McRae Motorsports Escort. Well, there you go. Well, I was kind of hoping for a little bit. I probably will not be keeping this car mod for any like off-camera stuff, because you just can't do a lot with it, but it's not a bad car to drive at least. But anyways, stay tuned for some more car builds and car mods. And oh god, that happened. Any suggestions, please feel free to leave them down below. If you have a mod suggestion, wait for your first one to go up before suggesting another. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and take care.